to see, like, as crazy as this is, there's all different types of kids here. Everyone's like, man, how do we start spreading good stories, right? So intermission, I go get a water. There's like a little area, you go like over here, vendor, a little tiny vendor. It wasn't over there though. It was like the size of someone's backyard. It was small. And this guy comes up to me with a young man. And the young man goes, hey, my dad's a big fan. He's freaking out. He's too, he doesn't want to come up. And I said, all right, man, all right. And the father's about my age. I said, how you doing? Now, when I meet people, if they're geeked out or whatever, I bring them back to, hey, listen, we're the same, man. It doesn't matter. I learned that from my dad. My dad was World War II vet, drank Coors Light and Busch Light and Schmitz when it existed. Right. I'd bring him to Saturday Night Live and I'd introduce him to star. I introduced my dad to John Goodman one time when he was a star, and he offered Goodman a beer, and John went, oh my God, love to have a beer. And then I went to rehearse. I came back, swear to God, and John Goodman's gone, and my dad's sitting there, and I go, where's John Goodman? He goes, he drank 5 of my 6 beers. The guy's an asshole. Who does that to another man? He drank like he had 9 pee holes. Who does that? It's my dad, man. So, I said, are you from Naples, Florida? He said, no, I grew up in Florida. I'm a fireman. I'm a fireman here in Naples. Well, wow, how'd the hurricane do? He goes, yeah, it was pretty bad in our area. And I said, I got a nephew that's a fireman, and my brothers are all cops, and my nephews, and they always hang out at the firehouse. What? He goes, well, I grew up in Miami, and we didn't really have, I joined the military. I said, really? He goes, yeah, I was 17, we didn't have any money, I was the youngest of a lot of kids, but my parents said, maybe if you join the military. And I said, yeah, that'd be cool, and maybe see the world, blah, blah, blah. And he joins the military, and he was too young, so they put him in the reserves, okay? So he goes, oh, that's cool, going to reserves. And he goes, while I was in the reserves, I get a call, anonymous call. You're going to war in Iraq. This is the first Bush, okay? When we first watched that CNN 24/7, the mind control and the beginning of the new world order has truly begun. Announce to the world our new world order. And they sent children to Iraq. And this guy was telling me, they sent him to boot camp. I think he said Lejeune, I could be wrong. And he goes, we were over there. Thank God we made it. When we came back, they flew us to North Carolina, and they said, from North Carolina, we're going to Miami. I said, okay. And Miami, 295 Marines in his group, all from Miami, are going home. The families are waiting. It's a crowd this big. They haven't seen their kids. They've had nervous breakdowns, hearing every day, 7 more casualties, more casualties. The horror that a family member goes through is never in the spotlight. Never. That is a heartache that never goes away. So they're going through all that, and they're waiting for this group, and they take them to the runway, and they drop them off, and their plane never comes. And this is not the cell phone days. This is 295 guys, you gotta wait for the payphone. And so he says, we're all screwed, we feel hard for the family, we just want to get home. And he says, one of his officers came and said, you're not going to believe this, but this is what he's telling me while there's little people wrestling in the background. He says, hey, buddy.
Hey, how's it going?
All right, hold on. I'm just telling them right now.
All right.
Just so they know I'm not kidding. Tell them when you came back from my first of all, introduce yourself to the crowd. Everyone, actually, I'll say, Mr. Steve Rodriguez, combat veteran, Naples Fire Department.
Thank you very much for the applause.
Steve, you
Yes.
come back from the war.
Yes.
Take it from there.
We came back from the Gulf War. We were reservists out of Miami, Florida, Tilt Company, 8th Tank Battalion. We were anti-tank assault gunners. So we had to fly into Camp Lejeune to demobilize and go back to civilian life as reservists. They took us on buses from Camp Lejeune to Cherry Point, North Carolina, and we were supposed to get on a plane there and fly back home to Miami to see our loved ones that were waiting for us at Miami International Airport. We waited there for anywhere between 6 to 8 hours, and we started to realize that we might not be seeing our family that day. So basically, we saw cattle cars pull up. Those are troop transports, and we were thinking, this is not going to be good. Well, all of a sudden, our major came out and he said, boys, we're going to be able to get a flight home. The plane's not big enough to hold everybody. It can only hold half, so it's going to fly down to Miami, drop half of us off, and then drive 8 hours.
And what was that man's name?
Donald John Trump.
There he is on the screen right there. Donald Trump bringing the Marines home to their families while they're stranded. And these are the stories that the demons will never tell you. These are the good deeds. This isn't politics. This is good human nature. God bless you. Thank you, Steve, for sharing that story. North Carolina, many blessings. This is real. It's a war on our souls. Do not be fearless. That is what they preyed upon for years and years. Fearless. Be fearless. No more fear. You know what's right and wrong. Your God moral code. You don't need anyone to tell you what's right or wrong. When it's wrong, you stand in front of the devil and you say, I don't fear you anymore. Rise up. God bless you. Be safe.
General Flynn, I know you want to say something, so I'm going to give you the mic. I don't know what you want to say, but I know you want to say something about Jim. I can see it. General Flynn, I mean,
this is pure right here. This is pure. It's fun, but this is a pure man right here. This is as authentic as you're going to ever get, and we have had such an amazing time getting to know each other. And these kinds of stories, I'm so glad that you brought that story out. This is the kind of stuff. This is about having fun, but the way he just finished this was about the idea of fear, because fear is an emotion that we all have, we all go through, and now is the time to be fearless, right? Our nation was built upon a set of Judeo-Christian principles and values, and we should be fearless about them. So it's time to get off our knees, stand up, and beat somebody's ass if it's necessary.
one more time, folks, let's hear for Jim Brewer and General Flynn. Thank you, Jim. Really do appreciate you. Now, Devin, let's pull up the restaurant here. Speaking about being fearless, how many of you just want to dominate a burrito tonight? Look at